Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Here's Hazel coming to visit. So I have not made any videos here on my YouTube channel in a while, and that is just because I've been extremely busy with commissions, and I actually just wanted to kind of show you what I have been up to. And these paintings, these are all from one commission. This is what I have spent the vast majority of my time on. I got this project, I think it was the end of May, and Hazel, go play. You go play. And I just finished it, and right on schedule, because he really wanted to be able to get these by early August so that he could frame them. And I'll tell you just a little bit about this project. So this is from a gentleman who wanted to kind of commemorate the years of his marriage. This is going to be an anniversary gift to his wife. So all of these paintings depict a different moment from their marriage. And I thought that this was just such a cool project, and I really enjoyed working on it, and I'm really proud of it. And before I pack these up today to ship them off to him, I thought I would just make a short little video to show you guys what I've been up to. I have not ditched my channel here. In fact, I've really missed working on tutorials and things like that. So let me see if I can put my camera on the tripod and then just kind of go through these. These are all oil paintings, by the way. They're all 9 by 12. And I don't really know what to say about these. This was kind of for me, a challenging project because I don't typically do a lot of architecture or figures, although I do want to do more of those. And so I really saw this as an opportunity for me to learn. And I definitely learned a lot, and I feel more comfortable doing oil paintings like this. Especially, I was nervous because these are relatively small. I've done other oil paintings with a lot of features and figures in them, but they were all larger, and that's a little bit actually easier for me. So this scene is from Tarragona in Italy, I believe. So that was pretty cool. This is like an amphitheater with the backdrop of the sea. I love painting water, like these crystal clear blue green waters. This is a scene from St. Bart's. I thought this was really cool. I really liked the airplane. And most of these, if not all of them, are actually, the gentleman who commissioned me, I guess I will call him my client, he sent me a link to a bunch of photographs. So each one of these is actually from multiple photo references. And what I did for every single one of these was that I would sketch them out, send him the sketches, he would give me feedback, I would make changes, and that could go on for several days. And then I would do the painting and also make any adjustments to the painting that he needed. This is in Jerusalem. Oh, well, obviously, I didn't say where this is from, but this is pretty obvious, New York City. This was one of my favorite ones, and it was funny because, as I said, I got this project in late May, and I just started working on them in the order of the photo folders that he sent me. And it just so happened that I worked on this one during the 4th of July weekend, so that was, I thought, really cool. Again, this is Jerusalem. This is the Wailing Wall. My puppies are here to cast shadows on everything. This is Chicago. This is the Bean, also known as Cloudgate. And this one was a really fun one for me because I love Chicago. This was one of the first places that I ever, visited on my own as a young adult. So lots of fond memories of Chicago. And this was kind of a cool composition to put together too, because he had a bunch of different photos from around this big sculpture and different ideas that he had for, how I would handle the different figures and where they would all be placed. So I actually made a lot of changes to the figures to kind of come up with this composition, which I'm really happy with and proud of. This was one of my favorites to paint because I did this almost all with palette knife. I love doing sunsets with palette knife. And another thing I really liked about this project was because these all represented different moments from their marriage. So, at this time, I guess they only had their daughter. Their son wasn't born yet. And so all of these compositions are just a little bit different as far as who is included in each composition. This one's from San Francisco. And I really liked painting this too. I love beach scenes. And the client, my commissioner, he does a lot of photography. I'm getting shadows everywhere. My lighting situation in my studio during this time of day is not good, so I came out to my back porch, which desperately needs to be painted to do this, and there's just shadows everywhere, so that's okay. Just a quick little video. So anyway, he's a photographer, so actually in a lot of these, and you can see too in the Chicago one, well, I guess I shouldn't say a lot, but he's kind of always the photographer in these compositions. So a lot of times he's got a camera in his hands and he's actually taking photos. This was from a trip they had to London. So this, I don't know, this might have been the most challenging composition, to be quite honest, just because there's so many architectural features, and I really wanted Parliament to be kind of a focal point, and he wanted this observation dome, whatever it is, to be in the composition, but I really didn't want it to take away. So I hope that I achieved that, and I kind of made up the sky, the colors in the sky, and I think that really helped too. But one thing that's challenging for me, and I'll talk about this in another composition coming up here, is that when there's a lot of architecture and then there's all these unimportant buildings in the background, it is kind of difficult. It looks easy, because they're basically just going to be little swatches of paint, but it's very difficult to kind of push those into the background and not let them become too busy looking and take too much focus away from the more important parts of the painting. So this was probably the most challenging one that I did. This might be my favorite though. And this is the family, the husband, the wife, and the two kids playing in the snow. And I really liked how the snow turned out. I really liked how the figures just really fit into this composition. I liked everything about this painting. I thought this was one of my favorites to work on, and I want to do more paintings like this for sure. Actually, I love doing paintings like these where I get to take a bunch of different photos and come up with a composition that's artistic and original and not just copying photographs. So I really felt like I had a lot of freedom with this project and was able to improve my own artistic skills through it. This was from a trip they took to the Badlands, and this also was a composite from various photos. And you can see there's some bison or buffalo in the background, and this is his wife sitting in the car. And this one was really fun too. I got to use a lot of palette knife in here as well. This was from a family trip, or I'm not sure if this is maybe the home of a family member that they were visiting, but I think this one might have the most figures in it and was definitely, at least coming up with the composition, this was probably one of the more challenging ones just to figure out where all these people would fit in, because basically what I had was a photo of this estate and then photos of all these individual people, and they all need to be interacting in a way that makes sense and kind of standing next to people and interacting with people in a way that makes sense to the family context. So this was definitely the most challenging one, at least as far as just figuring out where everyone needed to be and what they needed to be doing and things like that. This is from France. These are some castle ruins in France. So this was really fun just to be very playful with, really, because there were so many architectural features and all these, carved rock formations and things like that. It was a lot to put in, and so I had a lot of fun just kind of playing with colors. One thing that I struggle with, whether it's oil or watercolor, is kind of figuring out the color of concrete or white rock so that it's not just white and gray and blah. So I had a lot of fun really playing with color to create a very colorful look for this composition, rather than in the photos where, parts were blown out white and other parts just kind of devoid of color. So I was really happy with how this one turned out as well. Okay, and then this one is actually a photo that he had taken from the airplane, and this is still a composite from multiple photos. To kind of figure out where, because this is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and so it was kind of a challenge just to kind of put one composition together from all these different aerial photos in a way that showed the Leaning Tower and all the other features. But this one was definitely a challenge, and I did this one pretty early in the game where I needed to put all these very colorful structures all around and yet keep this the focal point. And also he wanted the airplane wing to be in the composition. So this one just had a lot going on, and it was very challenging to make this the focal point here. And so I think that I achieved that, but this one was definitely difficult just because there's so much color everywhere. There's this large, big white wing right here, and then I had to really focus most of my attention just in this area though of the painting so that this would be the focal point. So yeah, I get to wrap these up and send them off, and that is always just kind of a, I don't know, it's not sad, but because when I do commissions, these are paintings that belong to the person who commissioned them. So I'm not sad to see them go, but it's like I've been working on this project for a couple of months straight. And usually when I do commissions, and I've had other commissions during this time too, but they were just single paintings, and so they've already been shipped off. But it's like the end of a big project, a big part of my life for the last few months, and I've been making plans for videos that I'm going to be putting here on YouTube, making plans for Skillshare classes that I'm working to develop right now, and then I'm also going to spend August working on personal projects and also taking some classes. What I basically do with all the money that I earn from commissions and from everything else that I do, I just spend it all on art supplies and tutorials and things like that. And that's why I have a day job, so I can pay my bills. So anyway, I hope that you guys will stay tuned. I hope that you will come back to my channel. I'm going to have some new content coming out pretty soon. I've got lots and lots of ideas, as I said. And I also thank you for tuning in today, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.